Hey, good morning. I said I was going to take a week off from putting stuff up, and it's been about a week, and at least I got a chance to relax and enjoy some of the summer. I hope you are as well. And once again, summer work, my view is different than other people's. I look at it as kind of a way for us to gather some thoughts about a number of different things. Like I always say, I want to give you some good vocabulary so you can come to school in the fall knowing terminology, knowing basic ideas and concepts that we will be covering in more detail. And today, I want to talk to you about note taking. Note taking is a lost art amongst your generation. And I notice that because I walk around and I look at your notebooks. And I don't mean you specifically, I'm using that generally. I'm talking about students of this generation have lost the art of note taking. So I'm just going to share with you a little bit about how I approach doing a class. If I'm taking a class, in the past when I've taken classes, uh, my notebook collection was immaculate. Unfortunately, much of my stuff got lost in a house fire from graduate school, and that was unfortunate because I was very proud of those notes. But anyway, be that as it may, I just want to talk to you about a class I took last summer. I took a class in statistics at Misericordia University, and I want to show you how I approached taking notes. And this is my suggestion on how you can succeed and gain a deep understanding of the subject material. It helps if you like the subject material, and I hope that I can give you a class that you will like. But step number one is really paying attention to the instructor, not because the instructor has some ego problem, unless they're in the humanities, but more or less just you need to hear the things that your instructor's teaching you. So when I took a class last summer, I took it with this really cool math instructor at Misericordia named Dr. Stein, and it was statistics. And I'm just going to show you. I keep a notebook for class. I keep a notebook that I transcribe my class notes into, and finally, I use the book. Now, is it time consuming? Yeah, a little bit. Are you going to be a better student for it? Yes. And when you get to university or college or trade school or whatever, uh, you want to just basically have really good note taking skills. So let's say we were studying section 3.2. I just pulled this out, and these were my raw notes, I call them. I listened to every word the instructor said. Now, this was a 3 hour class, 4 days a week. So you really had to be attentive. I'm only asking you for, what, 42 minutes a day. So when the instructor writes some stuff on the board, you make sure that you copy that down. And I'm going to try to move my little camera here. I don't know how well this works. But I would write down everything that the instructor said, even the little side notes that he would say without writing them on the board. For example, not every piece of data is involved in calculating range. So I wrote that down. Uh, he said it, he didn't put it on the board. So it's almost like you're taking dictation. And then I would go home, okay, and I would recopy the notes. But I would do that with the aid of the textbook. So I knew I was in section 3.2, chapter 3. Let's see what I got here. So I go to chapter 3. This is, like I said, 3.2. And then, if you take a look at my textbook, I would actually make make notes like a trimmed mean, review this section. Maybe I would use highlighters in the books. Now, I know that in high school they frown on you writing in textbook, but the good thing about the textbooks that we use online, if you register, you can do all the highlighting right on the online textbook. So then I would take my notes and annotate, which means I would take stuff from the textbook and include it in my refined notes. And so you see, I have everything done in a very logical order. recopying examples from my raw notes. Let me get my raw, show you what my raw notes look like. Let me see here. Like for example, these were the raw notes from class. This won't mean anything to you because you didn't take statistics, but I have what was on the board and what my instructor said. I then recopy them into my refined notes, and again, I would annotate them with topics from the book that helps to augment my understanding. So, as you can see, note taking is pretty serious, and if you do it organized, and again, my handwriting is not the best, but if you do it in an organized fashion, you can have a notebook that you can use for years. Now, if I was going to teach statistics, which I originally was, but then they put me over in physics, which is fine, I could just pick up this notebook, take a week to go through it, review it, do some practice problems, and be ready to teach you statistics. So that's what taking notes is for me. It's not, writing down some random equation that you have no idea about the context. So I suggest that you do that. Anyway, just some thoughts. By the way, you probably have seen this in my videos, maybe. And if you're wondering what that is, that's a special type of radio equipment called ham radio or amateur radio, and it's pretty cool hobby. It's the way we communicated with people all over the world before cell phones, and if you're ever so inclined to be interested in it, I'd be happy to talk about that. Well, anyway, short video. Again, enjoy the weekend and learn how to learn, and that's part of the deal. All right, take care, guys.